In fact, tonight on This Is Exclusive, we are coming to you with the first report coming in from Antwerp. In fact, let's just get the labeling correct. Guun de Vos is outside Mehul Choksi's residence in Antwerp. Now, this is the very place that he's been staying from the time that he shifted from Antigua. Guun, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. Could you help us understand where are you right now? Have you been able to gather some information about where he was staying? I understand this is the very location that he has given, the place that he has been staying for quite some time, and perhaps the Belgium authorities actually arrested him from the very location that you are standing right now.
Yeah, fugitive businessman Mehul Choksi, wanted in the 13,000 crore PNB scam, continues to evade Indian authorities. We are currently outside Choksi's residence in Antwerp, where he was living with his wife before he fled the country. Choksi, alongside with his nephew Nirav Modi, is accused of orchestrating one of the biggest banking frauds in Indian history. While Nirav Modi is currently in jail in the UK, Choksi acquired Antiguan citizenship and is fighting extradition to India. This residence behind me is now under scrutiny as investigators trace his financial and personal trail across borders. Back in India, multiple agencies, including the CBI and ED, are actively pursuing legal actions to bring him to justice. His disappearance from Antigua in 2021 and reappearance in Dominica raised further suspicion about his international network. Choksi maintains that he is being politically targeted, but Indian authorities have called his claims baseless. Reporting from Antwerp, this is Guun de Vos, outside of the residence of Mehul Choksi for Republic TV.
Guun, do we know anything about the legal proceedings that are basically underway, as we understand that Mehul Choksi has been taken into the custody? He's currently lodged in a prison in Antwerp. Can you tell us a little bit more about where is he right now and what is the plan that the Belgian authorities have?
Well, to be honest, there's not much known about that. He is right now in custody, but Choksi claims that he is, that he hasn't done anything wrong. So he's just in custody, and and Belgium is still keeping him in custody, of course.
One final question, Guun, and I'll request you to stay on with us because we want to show all our viewers who are in India this man who ran away from India and was actually staying at the very place from where you're broadcasting. Can you tell us a little bit about the very place, about this neighborhood in Antwerp? Are there more Indians? Do they have any idea that you have had a fugitive economic offender staying in this neighborhood for a very long period? Anything that you're picking up from people who are staying in this area?
Yeah, well, we're right now in front of his residence in Antwerp, but I think we didn't know there was a fugitive in our country. But yeah, as you can see, this is the residence right behind me. It's where he lived with his wife. And yeah, that's everything we know.
Request you to stay on with us because we're getting some more details. In fact, my colleague Abhishek Kapoor is also joining us from the newsroom. Abhishek, I spoke to the lawyer and I asked him this question about how exactly did they obtain the F1 residency and whether at all they had informed the Belgian authorities that a non-bailable warrant has been issued against him, and secondly, that there is a charge sheet that has been filed. And he's dropped a bombshell. He says that the client independently has filed this application. I believe you're also holding the very letter that was actually issued by the law firm. What does it essentially state?
Well, I can tell you this is from BS&D Law Advocate, and this is Sijon Beccari. It's I mean, if I'm getting the name right, it's a very fine print, Shawan, I'm reading from. And then the mail goes on to mention that the client, Mehul Choksi, is domiciled in Belgium and he's domiciled since November 25, 2023, and that he also has a wife there who's a Belgian national, a Belgian citizen, as also their daughter. Then he goes on to say that Mr. Choksi had moved to Belgium in 2023, and on May 25, 2024, the competent Belgian government has, in accordance with Article 10 of the European Directive, etc., so and so forth, has issued a residence card F, which seems like a temporary residency, because then it goes on to say that the F card is residence card for a third country, family member of a union citizen or Belgian, so which means F card can be given to a resident who's married to a Belgian national. That's what comes out of this communication. And then, of course, it goes on to say that if with F card you are resident in the country for 5 years, which means if Choksi has applied for citizenship in or got the F card in 2024, Shawan, he's entitled to become a Belgian citizen only by 2029, which means he as yet remains a person with no nationality, because remember, you broke the story that his citizenship in Antigua is revoked, which of course is under adjudication. He has given up his Indian passport, and the Belgian law says that he can only become a national in 2029. So that's what comes out of this communication that you have accessed, Shawan. And I think we are zooming in on the document. It's an email, as I mentioned, from BSND law firm from Antwerp, and it clearly makes a point that while Mehul Choksi's residency of Belgium is legal in the sense that he holds an F card by the virtue of being married to his wife, who is a Belgian national, his citizenship only becomes possible only by 2029 is what comes out of this. Then, right, insofar as the residence status associated with this card also grants Mr. Choksi the right to obtain Belgium nationality after 5 years, of course, as I mentioned. So this is what comes out of this communication, right, Shawan. When you suggest that they might have withheld some information, that's something, of course, they will have to clarify further.
Thank you very much, Abhishek. I'll just take a quick report from Gyun, who's also joining us on this broadcast. I'm not too sure whether... Can we just go full frame with that visual of from Choksi's residence? I'm not too sure Gyun is there or not, but I just want to speak over the visuals that you're seeing right now. This, is, ladies and gentlemen, is where Mehul Choksi, the fugitive economic offender, has been staying in Belgium for the last several months. In fact, it was reported that in the month of August is when he moved from Antigua and he started staying in Belgium. In fact, you've had one newspaper portal based out of Antigua who had got the first big scoop. And that scoop was that he was staying in Belgium and he had obtained an F residency, that is basically allowing him to stay there without a visa. It does not, you don't require much. In fact, he was staying there. We'll go back from the visuals right now that we have here. In fact, what has happened is that Belgian authorities thereafter informed India that Mehul Choksi was residing in Belgium, and importantly, immediately thereafter, you had the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Enforcement Directorate immediately sending the papers, which basically include the charge sheets, the non-bailable warrant, and certain UN conventions that were basically cited. In fact, it's important to point out that Belgium immediately thereafter acted upon it. In fact, was tracking Mehul Choksi over the last several months. And this last Saturday is when Mehul Choksi immediately was taken into custody. In fact, there is a confirmation coming in from the Department of Justice, and they say that this has been done for further legal proceedings to take place. We are being told that in the coming few days, the matter is going to come up before the court, and the first would be the bail hearing, and second would be the extradition details or extradition hearing that's going to take place. Now,